leaning. It is leaning a little bit. Like the guitar here, way down there, is lower than the guitar here, and like you can see, the camera is just kind of like I could just oh, there we go. Oh, that's what you know what? I feel like it feels totally better now. It's just a minor, it's a little thing. We probably ran the whole video last night like that.
Crooked.
So
Maybe that's why viewership was so down.
just a little crooked.
Oh man, I nailed it.
I don't care if viewership was down. I don't know that it was because all of the guys stepped up with the super chatting and helping us out because we're ad free, and even Doug Santaniello is like reveal, 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 and ad free, and he's got like they're like little confetti balloon things happening there.
Yeah.
So thank you, Doug.
And I thought I was fairly entertaining last night. I
You
had
were.
a little bit of a rant about gig bags. Yeah.
So before we get started, though, Chris, we have another super chat that came in before we even did anything.
The door.
Okay. But I want you to listen to what I'm going to say because I'm going to answer the question and you're going to answer the question. You can go before me if you want.
But it's like point counterpoint.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Okay, so we can actually agree,
or you can have. Okay, so the question is from Road Song. He sent us a super chat for $10 and said, "What are your 3 favorite pickups? Please be specific, not just a humbucker, a P90 butt brand and model."
Okay.
So you and I can have the same ones if you want, or we can why don't like you do one, then I'll do one, then you do one, then I'll do one, and that way, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
And these are in no particular order.
Sure.
Or do you want to rank them?
Sure.
Let's just do no.
I don't think we need to rank them because I don't think it's a rankable kind of a thing.
Yeah. All right. So in no particular order, my favorite pickups by brand and make, model, and whatever, and Chris's favorite pickups by brand, make, and model, and
okay.
so on. Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
No, you can go first.
You know what mine's going to be.
I know what you're going to say.
My very first one is always going to be one of my favorite pickups throughout all of history, and that's a pickup that was in the early Hamers. It's a pickup that was in everybody's Les Paul in the 70s. It was all the favorite songs that you had in high school was probably had a guy with this pickup. And I think it was, if not the first, one of the first aftermarket pickups that you could get. I believe it
was among the first, certainly of that era.
Yeah, and that is, of course, the DiMarzio Super Distortion. I like mine in cream and cream, and I think it's very funny and very cool that maybe you can't get it like these anymore, but that DiMarzio was the only pickup that you could get cream bobbin. I think that like some other guys would like do it and then they'd put it in a cover.
Do you know why he did that?
Because that way you could tell it was his pickup.
Exactly.
And it's funny because
that was a big deal.
And he ain't lying, because I remember we were watching don't ask me how this happened, but Joy and I were watching music videos, and that John Parr, is he the naughty guy?
Oh yeah.
He has a Les Paul Deluxe that he routed out to take a DiMarzio Super Distortion. And she's like, "How can you tell that from just watching this?" And I'm like, "Okay, because it's got a mini humbucker in a cream trim ring, and it's got two, and that's the only guitar you could get with that, and it has a 2 cream bobbin P9 or DiMarzio Super Distortion, and if it didn't have 2 cream bobbins, I'd be like, man, he routed it for a humbucker. I could tell it was a deluxe. Oh, and it had like an American flag graphic on it.
Yeah, but yeah. I read a big, long article on all of that stuff. It was really, really interesting because it was he sort of fell ass backwards into
really
business. Yeah. But it was really cool because there was a time when you couldn't buy pickups for guitars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you could get all the Gibson pickups you wanted as long as you bought them with guitars wrapped around it.
Yeah. He started out just fixing broken pickups, and
Okay.
he'd go shop to shop. You got any broken pickups? And the box would come out. Thunk. Yep. Here you go.
Okay.
And so he started, messing around with stuff like that.
All right, Chris. Well, so what's
going on from there? So this is going to sound like a shameless plug,
okay.
but it's not. P90 pickups, and specifically Dylan's P90 pickups. I can use all sorts of words, but I find them very musical. I like the way they sound. They're not harsh. They're woody and nice, and I like them a lot.
Okay. I was actually going to say exactly the same thing. It was going to be my second one. And the reason I chose it I have to say the DiMarzios, because I'm always talking about DiMarzio.
You're always talking about those. Yeah. And
but I
I
absolutely
like
love the Dylan's P90s. And
every time we put them in a guitar, and I plug the guitar in and I play, every guitar that I assemble, I play it for a couple of minutes here and there. And every time I plug one in, I'm like, man, these really do sound nice.
And you can tell a humongous difference between Dylan's P90s and somebody else's. And in a good way. You know what I mean?
And
we've got a guitar that right there that is a magic guitar. It's a level 3. It's available. You can buy it right now. It's available, and it's got Dylan P90. Would you grab that one? Because like I
actually played it a little earlier today.
I know, yeah, and it sounded so good through that little Ampeg amp. This guitar here is a magic guitar, and we have kind of a no duds policy here, but this thing is absolutely magic, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's got Dylan's P90s, and it is one of the best sounding guitars you will ever play. I don't care who you are.
I like this guitar a lot. And the pickups sound great, and I try not to get too wound up in the minutia of some of this stuff. I like the way Dylan presents these pickups. I like that this is the pickup, and here it is. Play it.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah.
And I agree, Chris, and I could not agree any more than I have. So I'm amazed this thing's still here, frankly. But
me too.
But I think someone's going to need to come and play that and go.
I keep thinking, well, someday this will just sort of end up at my house.
See,
maybe it'll get dropped.
No, see, that's what I was thinking, is that someday it'll end up at my house.
Well, either one. I mean, because there's only a couple that are floating around there like this. But that thing ends up at your house or my house.
That thing is
really, one of us just needs to accidentally drop it.
Yeah. I think we could probably just say we're not dropping. That thing is positive. That is a magic guitar, all handmade. Okay, all right. So my number one, DiMarzio Super Distortion. Your number one, Dylan's P90s. My number two, Dylan's P90s. What's your number two?
Boy, I am into all sorts of goofy shaped pickups and stuff like that. Like I could say, oh man, I love Jazzmaster pickups and whoever's, but I don't really want to do that because that doesn't help anybody out unless you're putting pickups in a Jazzmaster. And do not put Jazzmaster pickups in anything else but a Jazzmaster. It looks stupid. As somebody who's done it, don't do it. So man, like I said, I don't get super wound up on it. I look at specs. I'm a vintage spec kind of a guy. Something that I've learned from Dylan. Shameless plug is hotter's not always better. More ohms doesn't always get you a pickup that does what you want it to do. So don't fall for that. So yeah, I'm mostly a single coil kind of a fan.
All right. So what do you got? And remember, you have two more. So yeah, this one and another one.
Lord. I don't know. Once again, I'll say Ed Elliott's Mosrite pickups.
Okay, that's great. Yeah,
as
those are cool.
As something else. Super hot P90-esque pickups,
but they're very
wound.
specifically Mosrite pickups.
Yeah, to the nth degree. Yeah, they come in, as I said earlier, vintage spec. Well, all that stuff's like 12, 13K.
Yeah.
Super hot, but a very unique sound.
Okay. Before I tell you my last one, I want to give you a couple honorable mentions.
Okay.
The Seymour Duncan quarter pounder Telly bridge pickup with the coil tap.
Oh, with the coil
tap. That's a great pick. And it's if you put that in a Telly and give it to someone and like plug it into like a half stack of Marshalls, guys with Iron Maiden t-shirts and humbuckers will be like, it's so loud, it's so powerful.
Unplug your Les Paul and plug that guitar in.
Yeah, and that happened once.
Prepare to turn down.
Yeah, that happened once, and it was like, the guy's like, man, this Telly, it won't. And I'm like, yeah, well. Plugged it into his Marshall that he had broke a string on a Les Paul. Plugged this thing into his Marshall, and it was like the Red Sea part. It was power. It was really cool. And the coil tap gives you the opportunity to split it down,
cut it in half.
Yeah. Another one that's an honorable mention is Jerry Sentel's bass pickup. That's the soap bar bass pickup that I have in my Cheerio bass, because it's another one that's like,
that's a very similar
it sucks.
Idea.
I've never seen it. If I wouldn't have seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. It actually pulls the strings down. It's so juicy.
Yeah, you can. I don't know if anybody else has ever done this, but if your guitar is sitting on the bench and you pluck a string and you can see it, you can see the waves of the string, and you were having issues with some sort of weird wolf notes.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there and we're plucking it, and I hit that string and it goes woo, woo, and it drops at the pickup. It just goes thunk. And it's like, holy shit, that magnet is actually pulling that string down while it's and this is on a bass.
Yeah,
it's a heavy string. And it goes and comes, and it's like, oh shit, we need to lower that pickup.
So those are my honorable mentions, but my final one of my third is going to be Pete Biltoff's CC Rider Charlie Christian pickup.
Yeah.
And that's going to segue into our next thing that we're going to talk about. But Chris, what's your number 3?
I'm going to just go with a pass.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
Like I said, I have current favorite pickups, and a lot of them are actually wound by Dylan.
Yeah. Dylan makes excellent stuff.
Dylan and I wound a set of Jag pickups, and I've been playing that guitar with those pickups in it, and I love them. And it's they're super underwound for Jag pickups, but it sounds awesome. So
Sean, that guitar is on the website. If you're talking about that Magic level 3, Todd's like, I should have bought that level 3, but you should have, but you didn't. And
you still can.
You can still buy it, but I'm not putting it on sale. Brian sent us $6 and said, thanks again for ad-free, gents. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, Todd. And thank you, Sean. And you know what? If you want to get into that guitar, like I said, I hope somebody buys it, because that is a, I don't like to say
there's not a lot of
that is an effing magic guitar.
There's not a lot of level 3s floating around either.
Not like that. No.
Well, and to be honest, there's one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that one. Yeah. So
okay. All right, Chris. So we have a triple reveal tonight. And you know how you get people to you know how you get Americans to want something?
Tell them they can't have it.
Tell them they can't have it. So these 3 guitars you can't have, because they're all spoken for.
Right.
Ways out, we'll make you one. So, all right. So I was talking about how one of my absolute favorite pickups in the world is Dylan P90 and a Pete Biltoff CC Rider pickup, the Charlie Christian pickup. This is our Challenger Level 2 Deluxe, and it's got all that stuff in it. And this thing is super, super cool. So it is an all mahogany solid body, carved top, with a Charlie Christian pickup. This one has a rosewood fretboard, and of course it has the cool area, so you can see what's going on with the Charlie Christian pickup.
It's almost like the flux capacitor.
It really is, isn't it? Yeah. It should have little Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing is so choice. And this has what are we calling this? Luxardo red. And it is, it's very you guys all know the picture. There's a picture of John Lennon playing live with a Les Paul Jr. and he has this pickup arrangement in it. And it looks really cool. And I'm like, that's a cool looking guitar. We should do a challenger like that one day. And then I found out how much these pickups were. And I'm like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. And then we bought some anyway. And I'm like, yep, we need to make a bunch of these.
Yeah. And we did, the first one was the JJJ model. And then you said, I wonder if we could put these in the carve tops.
You know who has the very first one? Steel Beach Mike, aka 64 Commuter, who says, I will vouch for the deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It sounds good. One of my favorite things to do is when we're over at Jim's house and he gets out his guitars, he's upstairs, we're all downstairs in the upright.
Yep.
And Ike or somebody that can play starts playing guitar.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, that sounds really good. But you have no real preconceived notion of what he's playing because you have no idea. He's playing, something cool. But it's like, yeah, what guitar is he playing right now? I bet he's playing the JJJ Deluxe.
Yeah.
I bet that's the neck pickup.
Yeah.
Hey, what's he playing? Oh, he's playing the JJJ. What position? Neck pickup.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, because I think sometimes you see stuff and you have a preconceived thing of what's going on, but it sounds really cool.
This thing is money. And there's two more of them going right now. In fact, I was fretting them just today because
there might be a maple top one too.
That's right. I forgot about that.
There is. I saw it.
I'm anxious to see that one. That's in sealer and is going to be ready to go, right?
So yeah, more paintwork next week.
So remember when I said you guys can't have it? Well, you can't have this one because it's getting shipped out on Monday, but you can buy the next ones that are coming up. So that is cool. Okay, Chris.
So these next two guitars.
I love that thing. I love it.
Okay. These next two guitars are redos. Yeah. So everybody may remember Glenn Tepper's original Ron Burgundy level 2 that got damaged in shipping. We showed it off and shipped it to him and it got damaged. And then we showed off the damage.
That's right. It got sold as a Maverick. I can't remember who bought it.
Somebody in class. I can't remember the dude's name right this second. But yeah, he bought it. And so anyway, so this is Glenn's replacement, and he's been very, very patient. I appreciate that, Glenn. And here it is. So this is a level 2. Has a
Glenn
trim.
Glenn changed almost everything.
In a lot of ways, he did. Yeah.
This is still.
He didn't realize that we could put a Hipshot trim in the guitar.
I think so. And this one is still crazy.
Oh, yeah, this is
light.
Ultralight. Yeah, this is Ultralight.
So this has a crazy light body and a crazy light neck. But before we get too much, I'm going to hold this with one hand out here and read. Rob sent us a super chat and said, "Speaking of, I can't have it. How's my current level 2 and 11/16 build coming along?" And of course, thank you for ad free. Rob, your guitar is coming along swimmingly. It is kind of at the back of the pack because it's one of the later ones that got ordered. So I'm not saying it's going to be like a long time to get, but I am saying that there's some other stuff in front of it.
Yeah,
so and Rob knows he's cool about that. Doc says refreshment fund and many thanks for the paint tips, Chris.
You're welcome.
So thanks for the super chats, you guys.
Sometimes, somebody asking you a question and you having to respond kind of makes you remember things that you need to remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking to Doc about paint is kind of that for me.
Okay, Chris. So what do we got going here?
So so ultralight. I believe this is a mahogany, ultralight mahogany body.
Yep.
Intergalactic.
Yes.
Looks like leather. Hipshot trim. Mahogany neck.
Let's spin it around there.
With maple binding. Very cool. Hipshot tuners This guitar is all about black and chrome. So I rounded up some black.
Oh, cool. I didn't even notice that.
Tuner buttons and put those on. What else? Kingwood fingerboard.
This has a
rosewood fingerboard.
Yep.
That's right. That's what he wanted, but it's super dark.
Yeah, it's really dark.
Yeah. Texas Toast logo. What else can I say?
Well, it's got our some of our favorite pickups. Oh
yeah, it's got Dylan pickups. These have the chrome covers on them. Maximum Guitar Works. I believe these are the better than Strat knobs.
Oh, is that what he calls those? That's funny.
BST, yeah.
And he's got some special
better than BSS.
Other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Locking.
Okay.
Strap buttons. A lot of little things. But
This is
anyway,
going to New York.
All black and chrome. So we decked it out in all black and chrome, and I think it looks really, really, really good.
Yeah, this thing looks like anytime you put that Intergalactic 73 finish on there, it's got that leather jacket kind of look to it.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, I do.
I like the all exposed neck. I think that's cool.
That's cool. Matte covers, but I did a shiny trem plate thing that I always do on them just because it cleans it up and I like the way it looks.
I can see it in the thing. It shimmers differently than the other ones.
Yeah. So it's the black on black.
People often say to me, like, why do you put that on there? You should grind that off and make the guitar more comfortable to play. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's my guitar and I designed it and I love it. And I'm proud of it. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
That gets
I'm okay with that. But this doesn't get in the way. It makes the neck look how clean that looks. Look how this whole guitar is this is clean Charlene right here.
You get a proper neck pocket too.
And you get a proper neck pocket. Thank you.
I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah, you have neck pocket all the way around the neck. So improves your tone by up to
5%. 4.5.
Plus or minus 3.
If you're Rob, then 6 1/4. 6 3, 6 17 83.
Is there a metric measurement for that for our Canadian friends though?
All right. So this one's going out. So the Luxardo Red Deluxe is going out Monday. This thing's going out Monday.
Glenn on Monday. Yep.
And we also have. Are we ready for it? Ready for the last one?
Yep.
Ready for the totally trippy.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, I'm gonna let you hold this one and do this one because this is
all right. So this,
look at that thing. It's like looking into outer space.
So this is for our good friend J Van B, John. And he ordered a level 3 metal flake quite a while ago. And we got the guitar all the way done and had some issues, and we cut it in half.
Because we will sell no wine before it's time.
We will not. And I got a hold of him and I said, hey, here's what's going on. Luckily, we have another one going. Should be pretty quick. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
So he has been super patient.
He has been very, very patient.
But anyway, this is his level 3. So
yeah, you can't.
Purple metal flake.
It just reflects everything.
Yeah.
It is super trippy, huh, Dan? Someone said trippendicular, and I'm like,
intergalactic back and neck.
Dang, dog!
It's got a little bit of silver metallic in it. Just straight up black headstock. So 3 colors.
Yeah.
Reveal binding. Can you see? That's wood.
Yeah, that's
you can't
nuts, dude.
It's I'm hoping that Joy takes good pictures of this because this guitar is a stunner. And I'm hoping she takes pictures of the other 2 as well.
We'll see if we can get Joy to take some pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
We'll see.
But anyway, very patient. Finally got it done. Metal flake is a giant pain in the butt. And this is slightly bigger metal flake than we usually use. So it was even more a giant pain in the butt.
Is that like that kind of like bass boat kind of stuff?
It's not quite that big, but yeah, it's closing in on the huge shit.
Yeah.
So
it's actually more purple in person than it is on screen.
It looks a little blue.
It's ridiculous.
Very, very purple.
Yeah.
And the the typical way that most people do metal flake colors today is they shoot it with silver metal flake and then put a candy over the top. This is actually purple metal flake over black.
Yeah.
So it's a little more old school and it's a whole lot more purple.
People often ask us, can we do glossy finishes? Well, yeah, we can. It's just that not everybody is willing to pay for them.
So in the end, I think I probably have about 5 hours more time in this finish because of all the wet sanding and buffing. I probably have 3 hours just in buffing on this guitar to make it look this good all the way around. And it sounds like I'm bragging.
I think you should be very proud of that finish.
Kind of, yeah. This thing turned out excellently.
And this is a semi-hollow too, so it's ridiculously light.
It is actually very, very light. Yeah, semi-hollow, Hipshot tuners, Hipshot trim, Dylan P90s, yeah, chrome knobs. So fairly standard build other than the wacky paint.
Everybody loves all the guitars that we're revealing tonight, including the one that is the Magic level 3 over there that is basically the natural version of this. Glenn says, thank you for creating such an incredible guitar. You went above and beyond. Switching out the tuner buttons was a thoughtful touch. It's been well worth the wait. Best wishes, Glenn. So remember, guys, Glenn's level 2 carb top intergalactic, which is excellent. It sounds like Joy might be getting a little rambunctious in the comment section.
She's
not
riding herd on the.
No, I don't think so. No? JVNB sent us a super chat and says, I could have been more patient. I did ask a few times here and there. Thanks, guys. John,
well, it's not a bad thing to keep us going. The funny thing is the last Metal Flake guitar that we had that we showed off was a level 4, but it was very much similar to this. I was doing both of those at the same time, and this one, for whatever reason, just kept going bad. So this is the 3rd time that I've painted the top. Finally got it right. Had some issues with scraping binding one time, and then it got too dark.
That was one of the problems, is because you got this Metal Flake has so much texture, solid, that to scrape binding and do reveal binding is like it's
Metal Flake. That's a whole other thing. So the one time, so I shot it in silver because that was what the other color was. I was like, okay, I'll do them both. Did that, put a couple coats of candy purple over it and scraped it, and it blew up. So I had to scrub it all back and do it again. And the next time it got too dark. It was almost like black.
It's funny, like people, I often say that if we build you a guitar, I guarantee you will love it.
Yeah, I love this guitar. If you hate it, John, send it back.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, we don't want to let anything out of the shop that's not up to speed.
Yeah, well, like I said last night, until you actually get it, it's my guitar.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's actually a thing. Yeah.
Brad Guitar Miller sent us a super chat and says that's a killer color and finish. Thank you, Brad. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Everybody could see how good it really is. Because right now it's like, oh yeah, it's neat.
Okay. It's ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
Doc wants to know, I know the answer to this, but I'm gonna let you answer. Is that UV top coat?
No, this is Tamco.
Okay. All right. Well, excellent guitars today for the reveal, Chris.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah,
I'm glad to get these finished up. Guys have been waiting patiently.
Yeah.
And you're there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We'll take a couple more questions and let's get the heck out of here. Sean says, turning into a pirate since the surgery, Brian. I didn't know.
Don't know.
That must be an inside joke.
This guitar looks like it should be in Brittany Fox Girls School.
Oh, dude. It does. Okay. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up for this time, Chris. It's time to kind of get started with the weekend. You got anything good happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna go ride bikes and yeah.
Good. Oh, hold on. Dylan sent us a super chat. Let's take that real quick. He says, I'm just so glad you are selling so many. These are the new hotness. Everybody needs one. You know what, Dylan? I think that everybody does need one, and these are the new hotness. And there is a staggering amount of options and features that you can get without redesigning the whole guitar. We can do all kinds of good stuff. Sean, I don't understand what this means either. Let's not bring Brittany Fox back into this. Sean.
Sean Emenheiser?
No, Sean Joint.
Sean Joint?
Sean Joint.
Oh, come on, man.
He's a little more. I think
he's a little more 90s. Yeah.
I think that glam metal to Sean Joint means GHEY Los Angeles metal. I think is what that probably means in Sean.
Go watch the video. You'll see what I'm talking about.
He does have one, yeah. Is that Dizzy Dean has Dizzy Dean,
yeah, silver metal Flake Les Paul in the video. Yeah.
Okay.
Cooler is a purple Challenger. That's all I'm saying.
Been way cooler.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Well, we will see you Sunday. We've got videos coming out on Sunday. I'm going to try to film some. I'm not sure what Sunday's video is going to be, but I can tell you this much. If it's not on Sunday, there's going to be 2 new tool videos coming. One you should buy and one you should run away as fast as you can if you see it.
And return all 6.
That's right. So I bought this tool, so you don't have to.
That's okay. Right. 6 times.
That's right. Okay, gang. Well, so we will see you guys soon. Have a great weekend and talk to you Sunday.